Most drivers assume their car will let them know when something important is happening. A light appears, a sound changes, or something feels different. What often goes unnoticed is that many useful functions are designed to stay quiet. They adjust and respond in the background without drawing attention. The reason is simple. Modern vehicles manage temperature, pressure, and movement automatically. In this video, you will see a few everyday features most drivers experience but rarely recognize, and how they can be used more effectively in daily driving, starting with one you notice almost every morning. Feature 13. Engine idle stabilization after cold start. When you start your car after it has been parked for several hours, especially overnight, you may notice that the engine runs slightly louder and at a higher speed for a short period. This is a normal and intentional response. At lower temperatures, engine oil becomes thicker and settles throughout the engine. Internal components are also cooler and need time to reach their normal operating condition. To support this transition, the system temporarily increases idle speed. This allows oil to circulate more efficiently and helps stabilize combustion inside the engine. During this short phase, the engine is still adjusting. Driving immediately does not cause instant damage, but repeating this pattern over time can contribute to gradual wear. Allowing the engine a brief moment to settle gives these systems time to stabilize. It is a small pause, but one that supports smoother operation and more consistent performance over time. And the next feature works in a similar way, but most drivers interpret it completely differently. Feature 12. Automatic headlight delay. After turning off the engine at night, you may notice that the headlights remain on for a short time before switching off automatically. This is not a delay or a system fault. It is a feature designed to improve visibility when leaving the vehicle. When you step out in a dark area, the headlights continue to illuminate your surroundings, allowing you to walk safely away from the car. After a set period, the system turns the lights off on its own without requiring any input. Many drivers are aware of this behavior, but do not think of it as something useful. Instead, they may turn the lights back on manually when needed. In reality, the car is already handling that situation. It is a simple example of how small design choices are built to support everyday use without adding extra steps. Feature 11. Fuel range buffer. Hidden reserve. When the fuel gauge reaches empty, it often creates a sense of urgency, as if the car might stop at any moment. However, most vehicles are designed with a small reserve that exists below the empty mark. This buffer is included to provide a margin of safety. It allows the driver to continue for a short distance, reducing the risk of stopping in traffic or in an unsafe location. Even though the car can continue, this reserve is not meant to be used regularly. Driving frequently at very low fuel levels can affect components such as the fuel pump, which relies on fuel for cooling and lubrication. The system is there to support you in unexpected situations, not to extend the normal driving range. Understanding this helps maintain both reliability and efficiency over time. If this kind of clear, practical information is useful, you can subscribe for more videos like this. Feature 10. Automatic transmission learning behavior. Over time, some drivers notice that the way their car shifts gears begins to feel slightly different. In some cases, shifts may feel smoother, while in others, they may seem more responsive. This is not random. Many modern transmissions are designed to adapt to driving behavior. The system observes how the vehicle is accelerated, how often braking occurs, and how speeds change during everyday driving. Based on these patterns, it adjusts shift timing to better match that style. If driving is more aggressive, the system may hold gears longer and shift more quickly. If driving is steady and smooth, it may favor softer transitions. This adjustment is continuous. It reflects how the vehicle responds to input rather than a fixed setting. When driving habits remain consistent, the system can settle into a smoother and more predictable pattern. Feature 9. Brake drying in wet conditions. When driving in wet conditions, a thin layer of water can build up between the brake pads and the discs. This layer does not stop the brakes from working, but it can slightly delay the initial response when you press the pedal. To manage this, some vehicles include a function that gently applies the brakes at intervals. The pressure is extremely light and usually not noticeable from the driver's seat, but it is enough to clear moisture from the surface of the discs. By keeping the contact area dry, the system helps maintain a more consistent braking feel. This becomes especially useful during long periods of light rain, where water can continuously collect on the braking surfaces. The idea behind this is related to how braking systems behave during deceleration. When a vehicle slows down using engine resistance, the braking surfaces can remain more stable and consistent in their contact over time. While this process happens quietly in the background, it reflects how different systems work together to support reliable and predictable braking in changing conditions. Feature 8. Cabin pressure relief vents. When closing a car door, especially when all windows are fully closed, you may feel a slight resistance as the door moves into place. This is caused by air pressure inside the cabin. As the door closes, air is compressed and needs a way to escape. Without a proper outlet, this pressure would push back against the door, making it harder to close and placing strain on seals. To manage this, vehicles include pressure relief vents, usually located behind interior panels or near the rear of the cabin. These vents allow air to exit smoothly and quietly. This system helps maintain the structure of the cabin and protects door seals over time. It is not something most drivers notice, but it plays an important role in everyday usability. Feature 7. Battery voltage protection system. When a vehicle is parked, electrical systems such as interior lights, infotainment, or sensors may continue to draw power from the battery. If left unchecked, this can reduce battery charge to a level where the engine cannot start. To prevent this, many vehicles include a voltage protection system. After a certain period, the car automatically limits or shuts down non-essential functions. This can appear as features turning off on their own, which may seem unusual at first. However, this behavior is intentional. The system is designed to preserve enough energy for starting the engine. It prioritizes function over convenience in that moment, ensuring the car remains ready for use. Feature 6. Steering assist adjustment at speed. Steering often feels light and easy when parking, but becomes firmer as speed increases. This change is not random. It is part of how the steering system is designed to operate. At lower speeds, additional assistance makes it easier to maneuver in tight spaces. At higher speeds, reduced assistance provides more resistance, improving stability and control. This adjustment happens automatically based on vehicle speed. It allows the car to feel responsive when needed, and steady when it matters most. The transition is smooth and continuous, supporting both comfort and safety without requiring any input from the driver. Feature 5. Air conditioning load management. When the air conditioning system is active, especially in warm weather, you may notice a slight change in how the engine responds. This is not a fault. It is a result of the additional load placed on the engine. The compressor, which is responsible for cooling the air inside the cabin, requires energy to operate. This energy comes directly from the engine, which means the engine must divide its output between moving the vehicle and powering the cooling system. To manage this, modern vehicles adjust how energy is distributed based on current driving conditions. During steady driving, the system can maintain cooling with minimal impact. However, during acceleration, or when the engine is under higher demand, it may slightly reduce the load from the air conditioning system to maintain balance. This can feel like a small change in responsiveness, but it is a controlled adjustment. The goal is to maintain both comfort and efficiency without placing unnecessary strain on the engine over time. Feature 4. Automatic door lock behavior. Many vehicles are designed to automatically lock their doors once a certain speed is reached. This feature is not random. It is part of a safety system intended to provide an added layer of protection while driving. By locking the doors during movement, the system reduces the risk of doors being opened unintentionally. This can be especially useful in slow-moving traffic, at intersections, or in crowded areas where the vehicle may be stationary but still active. In addition to locking, some vehicles are also programmed to unlock the doors automatically when the engine is turned off or when the key is removed. This makes it easier to exit the vehicle without needing to unlock each door manually. In many cases, these settings can be adjusted through the vehicle's menu or control system to match personal preference. However, their primary purpose remains the same: to provide consistent security and convenience without requiring constant input from the driver. Feature 3. Fuel cutoff during deceleration. When you release the accelerator while the vehicle is still moving, it often feels like the engine continues operating in the same way. The car slows down, but nothing seems to change from the driver's perspective. In many modern vehicles, however, the system responds differently in the background. Instead of continuing to supply fuel, it can temporarily reduce or completely stop fuel delivery. The vehicle keeps moving using its existing momentum, while the engine remains engaged without actively consuming fuel during that phase. This behavior is part of how modern engines are designed to improve efficiency without requiring any extra input. It is most noticeable during gradual slowing, coasting in traffic, or driving downhill, where the vehicle can maintain motion without additional fuel. Research on modern fuel systems shows that this approach plays a measurable role in improving overall efficiency, particularly in real-world driving conditions that involve frequent slowing and stopping. Understanding this helps explain why smoother, more consistent driving often leads to better fuel use over time. The system is already working quietly in the background, and it becomes more effective when driving inputs remain steady and predictable. Feature 2. Tire pressure temperature sensitivity. Tire pressure naturally changes with temperature, even when there is no leak or damage. As temperatures decrease, the air inside the tire contracts, causing pressure to drop. When temperatures rise, the air expands, increasing the pressure. Because of this, it is common to see tire pressure warnings appear suddenly, especially during seasonal changes or after a cold night. In many cases, this does not mean that the tire has lost air. It simply reflects how temperature affects the air inside. Modern tire pressure monitoring systems are designed to detect these changes accurately. They respond to real pressure differences, even if those changes are caused by normal environmental conditions rather than a fault. For this reason, tire pressure is best checked when the tires are cold, before driving. This provides a more stable and accurate reading. Understanding this relationship helps reduce unnecessary concern and supports proper tire maintenance, which plays an important role in safety, efficiency, and overall driving comfort. Feature 1. Alternator Smart Charging System. Battery charging does not remain constant while driving. Instead, modern vehicles use a system that adjusts charging based on engine load, driving conditions, and overall energy demand. When the engine is under lighter load, such as during steady cruising or when maintaining speed, the system increases charging to restore the battery more efficiently. During acceleration or when the engine is working harder, charging may be reduced temporarily, so that more power is available for movement rather than electrical demand. This approach allows the vehicle to balance energy use across different systems without placing unnecessary strain on the engine. It also helps improve fuel efficiency by avoiding constant resistance from the charging system. Rather than operating at a fixed rate, the alternator continuously adjusts its output in response to changing conditions. Over time, this adaptive behavior supports better battery health, more efficient energy use, and a smoother overall driving experience without requiring any action from the driver. The bottom line: small awareness, long-term impact. Many of these systems are already working every time you drive. They are not new, and they are not difficult to understand. They are simply easy to overlook because they operate quietly, without drawing attention. The difference comes from awareness. Once you begin to notice these patterns, the way your car behaves becomes more predictable. Small changes start to make sense, and decisions become more natural. It is not about changing everything at once. It is about understanding what is already happening and allowing that understanding to guide your habits over time. Even small adjustments in awareness can lead to smoother driving, better efficiency, and fewer unexpected issues. If this makes things clearer, you can stick around for more practical car knowledge.